That's the city of David. That's original Mount Zion. All of that was in the wall originally, but this is now the wall where it has been built and goes straight up to the Church of Gallicantu, which it's actually close to that big, tall minaret. Well, no, the Church of Dormition, and you will see a long building. It almost looks like a mobile home with 2 windows in it, 2, then another 2, then 1. That's the upper room. That's where the room would have been, likely on the upper city. And now when you come into the Dung Gate, which is this particular gate where all of the cars are parked on the road, you come up into the part of the opposite side of this retaining wall, which is the western wall, or the wall which is the holiest spot to Jews. The Dome of the Rock is a place where Mohammed believes that he was there in a dream, and so that was done just to hallow that particular place. Angle up left, and you will see a big gray dome. A big gray dome, which is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And there's another dome right by it, but that's where it is believed and almost certainly to have been the place where Jesus was buried, the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. In the city now, but out of the city at that time. This was the 10 acres that was added by this threshing floor of a river David bought at the instruction of the prophet Gad. And so that whole area was where the temple was originally made by Solomon. If you go on over beyond the green trees, you see the building with the long area of windows. That is above where we had the Church of the Flagellation we visited, and on the pavement where part of the place that was Herodian, that's not Herodian, where the Roman soldiers were billeted and where they slept. If you go on up to that green area underneath the sky, that is the garden tomb where General Chinese Gordon in 1850 believed that was the spot. It only dates back to that period. So then, if you will, the St. Stephen's Gate above the beautifully new-made solid gold dome of the Russian Orthodox Church. This is gold anodized aluminum, and there's a big difference. And so that road going up is the one that goes to the St. Stephen's Gate, up this side of the cemetery. You notice the cemetery that was in front of the gate going up into the temple there. You see it built closed, and that was the place where Jesus went in on the Pentecost Sunday, or on the Palm Sunday. So all of the hills here, you will see, are buried Jews in tombs, even that hill over there as well, because it's thought to be the valley where God will judge. And King David Hotel is just on the skyline with the YMCA tower just behind it. That's the 5-star hotel where so much history has taken place. The peace treaty with Egypt was signed there. So that's the general focus of where we are, what we're going to do. You'll see the dome halfway up the hill to the right of the gold dome. That's made as a teardrop by the Italian architect, and that's where it's thought Jesus wept over the whole city. You see the excavations where they have dug in that corner after the Israelis came back, and if you'll notice, right against the corner of the wall there is a period place that looks like cement. Part of those are the original stairs where Jesus would have come up as he went down into the city, into the Temple Mount. There were the 4 doors there, the gates of Halda. So that's known to be the place, one of the places where he would have walked. So there you have the area that was added by Solomon, and which of course was taken over in 691 when the Mosque of Omar was built in honor of him, so that he could, the whole area could be where they would pray. And that is loaded on Fridays, usually with people who have come to quote the Quran. Okay?
Lean back. Oh, lean back. Watch where you step, guys. You can tell that camel's knees are very sore. He doesn't like getting up and down on his feet. Yeah.
You know, it's only after 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a good picture.
5 cup for $10, 5 for 10. Scope Bashmira, 4 scope for 10, 4 for 10, cup 5 for 10. 4 scope for $10, 4 for 10. Cup 5 for $10.
There you go. All right. There we go. We got a camel. Hey, Wilbur.
Wave your hand, wave your hand, wave 2 hands, 2 hands, that's it. There we go, guys, cowboy, hey, cowboy. Camel apples. Christine.
I'm ready to walk.
Too bad. Kenny and Wilbur are going to ride. Kenny and Wilbur.
Oh, really cool. I want to.
Christine is a pastor.
Yeah.
Christine could tell on the Jerusalem wall.
Totally.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I tried not to let it get
I missed the bullet.
Come lead it, Bobby. Here we come, I'll get you preacher.
I asked Suzanne if we could do that. I don't think she knows what the word is.
Yeah. Funny.
6 pack limit coming, 6 for $10, 5.
Very cool.
6 pack for 10.
Don't forget us, huh?
6 pack for $10, 6 for 10.
You bring business for us. Ahmed, Ahmed! يا حبيبي الله يسعدك واجي جاي كان تصيح فيني. He hates that. He's in pain when he's doing that. Doctor, put your left foot in. Good. Push him up, my friend. Push him up. Well, there we go. Okay. So who's going with you? This guy? Okay, swing your legs. Yeah. Okay, brother. No, don't hold him. Don't hold him. Take your foot off. Take your foot off, doctor. Take your foot off. Hey!
Yeah. Don't wash his feet.
He's the true
I
leader
have
now.
my son. I'm seeking for a wife for him.
What did he say?
I have my son. I'm seeking for a wife for him.
3 bags for $5, 6 for 10.
I have my son. I'm seeking for a wife for him.
Landon, then you can take that.
I have my son. I'm seeking for a wife for him.
6 for 10.
Brother, come on, somebody lead him. Thank you and God bless you all. Walk with it. Go ahead, get that picture. Go ahead, wave your hand.
New view of the world.
So many cameras, I don't know what to do.
No, they're buried underground, but this is just. See, they come and leave a candle and come to visit. Every rock suggests a presence, people coming.
Okay.
And it speaks more or less for eternity. But the hole is dug, the body goes clear down under. And that's simply an area where they can bring a candle and put it in, put a rock on top, remember the person. And
How is the body oriented? Head toward the west?
I think it's towards the sun. You
Head
know,
towards
in
the
other words,
sun?
head toward west.
Oh, head west.
Pointing to the rising sun.
East. Okay.
So he'd rise like this.
These are
Yeah.
Muslim.
No, these are
These
Jews.
Jewish on this side.
This is Jewish.
It's the most coveted Jewish cemetery.
Oh, it is. And they believe the judgment is going to be here. there's a mystic belief, one Jewish man told me, that if you die anywhere in the world, there will be a cavern that will bring you here for the final judgment. Your soul will come to this spot. And see, it's the final judgment of Jehoshaphat, according to them. Well, the Arabs say the final judgment's right on top. Those were the wealthy's bone boxes. After they had decayed, they cleaned the bones and then laid them in the ossuary. And all of those are the various sizes depending on the length of the femur of the person that had died. And the box at the top, each of them, they would pick them out like a casket. We would have go in and pick our own casket. They would pick the box that they would be interred. Remember, they would put them in the cave and seal it until a year afterwards, till the meat had decayed, and then they clean them all a year later and bring them, put them in the box, and then inter them back in the same cave. So we saw them. I want you to look through the trees. You'll see a long pointed top of a tomb. That's thought to be the tomb of Absalom. Absalom was the second son of David, and he's the one who tried to overthrow David because he was so angry that David had not punished Amnon, the eldest son, for having had sex with his sister. And as a result, he was buried there, according to tradition. And whether it is that's a much later type of building, but anyway, it's pointed out as where he was buried. Now you can see easier the city of David. You can see the rock scarf right where the Black Road turns, Dogleg turn. There are buildings there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the bottom, you'll look at this rock scarf, which was a way of keeping the erosion under David's palace. And everything left of that was the city of David, all the way down to the valley of Gehenna, which you can't see, but the village of Silwan is on this side. If you wanted to leave your house and visit your neighbor below you, you walked out of your front door onto his roof. And then you went downstairs onto the roof so that it was a stair step up the hill, very steep. And that's the way David's city was built, one layer right on top of another.
I might have missed it, Doctor, but what is all these?
These are all Jewish tombs from way long ago, and they will never use them again for any other. They're not to disturb them for eternity until the judgment. They're being here in order to be here for the final judgment. All of those, even the grassy area down there is, we dug after Kathleen Kenyon was here, and she did move some tombs. They didn't know about it, but we didn't move any at all. No human bones were found, but she had found them and taken them away. I remember the first year I dug, we found some World War I cherry cans, so that it had been quite a while since World War I.